Secure the Bag, the Truth About Access to Capital and Business Funding in partnership with New Voices Fund. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Essence is partnering with Antifa to have this new fund that gives over $20 million in capital to Black radios. Whether that be writing, screenplays, anything like that, we're giving money and we want to see more Black women in these spaces. So this is being sponsored by them. With that said, we have 4 amazing speakers today. The first is Arlan Hamilton, and he's the founder and managing partner of Backstage Capital. Arlan built a venture capital fund from the ground up while homeless. She is the founding and managing partner of Backstage Capital, a fund that is dedicated to minimizing funding disparities in tech by investing in high potential founders who are of color, women, and or LGBT. Started from scratch in 2015, Backstage has now invested nearly $5 million into 100 startup companies led by underestimated founders. Please welcome Arlan Hamilton. Okay. Arlan? Yes. Yeah, come on and sit. We're gonna need more. The next we have is Scott-Young Wilson, the founder and CEO of Solid Ground Innovations. Scott-Young is a serial entrepreneur and the founder of 2 companies, Solid Ground Innovations, and most recently, Exempt Me Now, a New Orleans-based tech startup that simplifies the creation, management, and compliance process for tax-exempt and for nonprofit entities. She has raised $2 million for her startup to date, making her the first Black woman in Louisiana to raise over $1 million in venture capital. So she's popular. And the most any woman of color in this state has done before. In her role at Exempt Me Now, Scott-Young sets the vision for the company, builds and manages the team, and leads the company's execution against its strategy. Some of her highlights include being named Businesswoman of the Year by the state of Louisiana, Louisiana's Legislative Women's Caucus, winning the National Nobel Prize for Public Service, the Jefferson Award, and being named to Tiger 100 Fastest Growing Businesses for 3 consecutive years. Please welcome Scott-Young. And then we have Melissa Butler, who is the CEO of Lit Bar. She is a Detroit native who has skillfully and strategically launched startup beauty brand, the Lit Bar. And it's a nationwide phenomenon, which many of us have heard of. Melissa obtained her bachelor's degree in business finance from Florida A&M before going on to work on Wall Street as a licensed stockbroker. Her journey from stocks and bonds to beauty was created by her frustration with the beauty industry's lack of diversity and excessive amounts of chemicals. This frustration led Melissa to manufacture lipstick in her Brooklyn kitchen in an effort to challenge the status quo and the industry's linear take on beauty. So please welcome Melissa. And last but not least, we have Rich Dennis, who is the CEO of Essence Ventures, which is special to me since I work in Essence. He's born in Liberia. Essence Ventures CEO Richelieu Dennis came to the United States to attend renowned business school Babson College. When he graduated in 1991, he was unable to return to Liberia because of civil war. Driven by his passion for entrepreneurship and sustained by a vision to fill unmet consumer needs, Richelieu partnered with his best friend and college roommate, Naima Tubman, to pursue a bold concept: address skin and hair care issues traditionally ignored by mass market companies. Drawn from deep traditions born out of his family roots in Africa and passed down to him from his grandmother, Richelieu incorporated 4 generations of recipes, wisdom, and cultural experiences into natural bath and beauty care products. Co-funding Sundown Brands, which we now know as Shea Moisture, with his mother, Mary Dennis, and Naima. He now takes the helm as a visionary for Essence Ventures. Welcome, Rich, please. It's gonna say after food. So I want to get right into it. I mean, we have so many people who are trying to grow their businesses, want to know where to start, want to know how to access capital. I think that's one of the hardest things, is knowing how and when to access capital. And I guess the first question is, you've got the idea, you need funding. When are you ready to start asking for capital? And where do you go?
So can I just start by saying we have a special guest
Yes.
that we didn't know was here. So here's your bonus. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mona Scott-Young. She was back there. She'll be out in a moment. But notice she's in the building.
Yeah. So in terms of accessing capital, when you have an idea, where do you, I think, there's Mona. Is there a seat?
Right here. And a mic.
Completely impromptu, but I'm here.
This is what happens when you have friends who care about their community. And she comes and gives her time to talk to us and share with us. So thank you.
I'm here. Thank you.
I think we're going to work on bringing in a chair as well. Okay, so yes, we were talking about capital, building capital, having an idea, and where do you go when you need it, when you have your idea and you want to get started, and when you know you're ready with an idea. Do you need a business plan? Like, where do you start? Anybody can speak on it. Yeah.
I can start from the entrepreneurship perspective. So I have a startup beauty brand called The Lip Bar. I started the company making lipstick in my kitchen while working on Wall Street. So immediately I had this great idea to transform the way my community thought about beauty for themselves, and ultimately extended that idea to their sister. I was really frustrated with the beauty industry and its lack of diversity, its excessive chemicals. So bam, I have an idea, right? And so it was my goal to learn as much as I could about my business, because I wanted to have some skin in the game. And when we started to grow, I launched on UrbanOutfitters.com, I launched on Forever21.com, I was doing trunk shows with Bloomingdale's. Ultimately, I landed a deal on Target.com, and I was like, oh shit, well, I know that this isn't a sustainable way for me to continue to bootstrap. Now I need funding. So I started pitching VCs, reaching out to people like, well, how do you raise capital? Because by and large, our community has no idea what it looks like to raise capital, and we certainly don't always have the friends and family to reach out to and say, hey, I have this traction, or I have this amazing idea, but now I need help funding it. So I started practicing. I started reaching out to people who I knew had fundraised. I started reaching out to VCs, and I was told no every single time. And relationships is huge, like they're huge. I remember running up to Richelieu at a show called Cosmo Pop, like, hey, I've been stalking you for years. And he's like, well, first of all, you've been using the wrong email address. But here's my email address, here's my phone number, call me at any time. So that really just speaks to relationship building, because this was 2 years ago, and now I'm one of the first investees in the New Voices Fund. So it's certainly building those relationships and knowing and not being afraid to reach out to people in your community who aren't necessarily in your network, who you know are doing what you want to do, or even doing what you are doing but maybe doing it better.
Can I add to that? When you talk about running into Richelieu, you talk about, being able to kind of pitch right there on the spot. Was clarity about what you wanted from the opportunity an important element of this?
Absolutely. So it's one thing to say, hey, I have an idea, can you help me? It's a completely different thing to say, hey, I have an idea, this is what I've done with my idea, this is the traction that I've been able to get on my own, and now I need help getting to the next level. So at the point in which we decided to engage in a partnership, I had already had traction. I had already launched on Target.com. I had already had a plan to go into Target stores, and then when we launched, I had the #1 selling lipstick in the store, outpacing national brands.
And I brought that up for a reason, because a lot of times we all have great ideas, but we don't have the clarity of communication in making sure that we can articulate those ideas to the people who can help us take it to another level. And that's the important element that I always stress. Be very clear. You talked a little bit about educating yourself and utilizing the resources that were available to you to get the information, right? So the internet has provided an incredible platform and opportunity for us to source information. But make sure that you can succinctly and clearly, communicate what it is you need from an opportunity. What it is your brand is, your business is, make sure that you can communicate that, because that chance encounter gave you an opportunity, but if you were not able to communicate clearly in that moment, you would have missed that opportunity. So I always talk about communication, clarity, and just having that encapsulated pitch always at the ready, at your fingertips, so when that moment presents itself, you can, do what you have to do to communicate that.
Yeah. And you want to kind of touch a little bit on it, but with the new mediums that we have with online media and all these things, what are your thoughts on crowdfunding? I mean, I think that's probably the best place to have that clear communication of what you're raising for, but I guess, is it ever too early to be doing that? I mean, your idea's out there at that point. So what are your thoughts on crowdfunding? Do you do it, yay, nay?
I think it depends on what your product is, right? The internet has created this incredible leveling of the playing field for us and the ability to access resources that were not previously available to us. But again, when you have an opportunity to, have that platform to touch people, to motivate them, to help you fund whatever it is you want to do, I think you should take advantage of whatever resources are available to you. Crowdfunding is a great opportunity. I know a lot of people who have gotten feature projects, content projects funded by just putting that project out there. But it goes back to communicating your agenda and really soliciting those funds. But those opportunities are out there for that. You should take advantage of it.
I'll mention one thing from the VC perspective. Sometimes your first crowdfunding is actually just your website, just your, having the proof that someone wants to use your product. Because sometimes crowdfunding costs you money to put together. It's a whole process. It definitely costs you time, especially if you do unaccredited investors. There's a whole process you have to go through and accreditation you have to get for your company to be able to do that. So before you take that leap, make sure that you have something that someone else has given you that legitimacy of that it's something that people want. You just want to make sure that you're in that. And also when it comes to articulating your vision, what I found is some people hack it and they have champions for them. Because some people are introverted. Some people don't know exactly how to say what they want to say, yes. And so they'll have someone who's on their team or who, on the weekends is the co-founder, when they're first starting. And sometimes no one explains your vision better than someone who believes in your vision. So sometimes it's about having, it can be a very lonely place to be a solo founder. I'll talk to solo founders all day. I don't have a problem with it when it comes to your capabilities, but I do know it's lonely, and so sometimes that can be a hack.
Yeah, but I do believe that if you do anything when you're starting any kind of a business venture, any kind of, an initiative, that you be clear about what it is that your product is, what it is you're trying to offer, and be clear in the articulation of that. That is so important. Communication is key, whether it is motivating other people to do what you need done, or getting people to buy into your product, to believe in you. You know, as the person selling that product, you have to be able to articulate that clearly. And I can't stress that enough, because I run into people all the time that are like, I have this great idea. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And they can't put it into words. And I'm like, if you can't articulate your idea, how can I help you bring it to fruition? So that